The lights buzz. The paper's coarse. The ink smudges if you touch it too fast. And somewhere deep in the press room, Stanley Weston is laughing because The Wrestler isn't a magazine. It's a riot wearing a cover. January 1972, 50 cents a copy, and it hits your mailbox like a chair shot to the skull. The opening salvo? Here's what's happening, baby. A title that sounds like it should be shouted through a megaphone over brass horns and body slams. It's Bill Apter before he became Bill Apter. A young, hungry insider dropping scoops, rumors, and wisecracks like a man born ringside. He tells you the state of the business straight up. Feuds flaring in Buffalo, promoters fighting over talent, referees accused of shielding favorites, and somewhere out there, a man wrapped head to toe in bandages scaring arenas half to death. There's money in mystery, Apter writes, and the mummy's cashing in. He jokes about wrestlers switching sides faster than politicians, about one star who refused to lose and found himself chasing a bus to the next territory instead. His words aren't polished, they punch. If you think wrestling's slowing down, he warns, you haven't been paying attention, baby. Flip the page and the fans take over. Your letters, the original message board, paper and postage as passion. From Chicago, a kid defends Morales' honor, calling him the champion of the working man. From Brooklyn, a woman insists Freddie Blassie has more class than any hero alive. From Ontario, someone demands to know Andre's shoe size. The editors answer with a grin and a jab. We tell you, they write, but the shoe stores panic when they see him coming. Every reply dances on that line between kayfabe and wink. They treat fans like insiders without ever dropping the illusion. Then comes the correspondent reports, a coast-to-coast roar of typewritten telegrams. Memphis is on fire, Florida's gone wild, and Dusty Rhodes is reinventing what it means to be a hero. A man who bleeds, smiles, and still dares you to boo. The Sheik is stabbing men in Detroit, Bockwinkel is toying with egos in Minneapolis, and out west, Mil Mascaras is turning every entrance into a parade. Wrestling isn't organized chaos. It is chaos, organized by men too stubborn to quit. The headlines get louder, the typeface bigger. Buffalo, New York, Feud City, USA. It's the feature that defines the issue. The writer treats Buffalo like a frontier town, a place where grudges go to die and come back angrier. Johnny Powers, Tony Parisi, and the Love Brothers all locked in endless vendettas, each match bloodier than the last. The crowd's not watching. They're participating. You don't come to Buffalo to see clean wrestling, the article declares. You come to see justice done in public. The photos tell the rest. Fists mid-swing, referees ducking, fans clutching their faces. A handshake is never just a handshake in Feud City, the caption warns. By the end, Powers is dripping. Parisi's arm hangs limp and the writer sighs like a war correspondent. Buffalo will survive, maybe no one else will. And then, the match that redefined pain. The bloodbath between Pedro Morales and Stan Stasiak. A spread so red it practically glows. Stasiak's heart punch lands like a guillotine. Pedro crumples but refuses to die. Do referees really protect Pedro? The copy asks. If so, then protection must mean punishment. The writing's pure pulp poetry. Each drop of blood was another reason to stand. Pedro's face becomes a map of defiance, and Stasiak's grin is the mark of a man who enjoys the anatomy of suffering. The last photo? Morales walking away under his own power, towel around his neck, title still his, pride intact. The crowd calls it courage. The magazine calls it proof. Just when you think the violence has peaked, the wrestler goes full-on gothic with the mummy's terrible curse. The story reads like a Hammer horror film narrated by a carny philosopher. He doesn't fight men, it begins. He fights daylight. The mummy shrouded in gauze, lumbering through the ring, a walking metaphor for pain and anonymity. The piece digs into the psychology of fear. He wears the bandages not to hide his face, but to hide what wrestling has done to him. It's sympathetic and sinister all at once. The photo captions could hang in an art museum. He doesn't bleed. He seeps. He moves slowly, but fear moves faster. Then the visual symphony, eye on the mat world. No words, just frozen miracles. Bruno Sammartino clenching his jaw in agony, Dusty Rhodes mid-promo, veins glowing. Pedro Morales hoisted by fans, Albano screaming orders, Bobo Brazil caught between exhaustion and triumph. Every caption sounds like gospel, 1 second before agony. The truth shows under the lights. And out of nowhere, a flash of glam and grit. Blondes have more fun, but does that apply to girl wrestlers? It's cheeky and weirdly ahead of its time. Ann Casey, Tony Rose, Joyce Grable, all fighting double battles in the ring and against expectation. The copy is half sociology, half sass. They train like men, they bleed like men, but the crowd gasps louder. Casey fires back with attitude. Maybe blondes have more fun, but redheads win titles. The photos don't flinch. Hair flying, fists clenched, no glamour filter in sight. The tempo spikes with, "I'll be the first undisputed champion in 25 years." The Stomper's manifesto. The man practically spits lightning. "I'm not waiting for permission," he says. "I'm taking everything." The layout screams motion. Boots raised mid-stomp, eyes wild, sweat flying. Respect is something he collects like skulls, the caption reads. He doesn't defend titles. He ends them. But even in wrestling's jungle, betrayal cuts deeper than any blow. Enter I'm ashamed of Big Bruiser. He's a dirty double-crosser. My little Bruiser's confessional tears at your gut. He speaks like a man broken in half by someone he trusted. "We bled together," he says. And then he smiled while he drove the knife in. The photos sting. Little Bruiser, small but fierce. Big Bruiser looming smugly. In wrestling, the article sighs, you can forgive a loss, but not a friend. The wildest story of the issue follows in The Ape Man Who Danced in Banana Skins. Tarzan Tyler versus Abe Jacobs, a match equal parts farce and fight. Tyler enters the ring with a necklace of bananas, bites one mid-match, howls at the crowd, and still gets beat clean by Jacobs' technique. He danced, he screeched, he bit, the story laughs, and Jacobs wrestled like civilization itself. The kicker line? In a world of beasts, the man who remembers he's human is the real king of the jungle. Then comes the finale. I'd rather take on a 1,000-pound tiger than some of the wrestlers I've faced. Featuring Bengali, the mystic of the mat. He speaks softly, dangerously. The tiger is honest, he says. The wrestler lies. He recalls learning his holds from animals. The cobra taught me the sleeper. The tiger taught me the claw. The article reads like scripture. At least, he adds, a tiger doesn't smile before it kills you. From there, the correspondent reports finish the story the features started. Buffalo's chaos continues. Tigerjeet Singh destroys beautiful Bruce Swayze. Johnny Powers ends Crusher Verdue. Luis Martinez finally pins the Mysterian clean. Waldo von Erich saves his title only by going too far. In St. Paul, Werner Gagne, Bockwinkel, and Ray Stevens play chess with blood. In Detroit, the Sheik jabs Mighty Igor with a pencil until Tigerjeet storms in for the save. The reports close with a single line that could double as the magazine's motto, "Every town's got a feud. Some just last longer." And then, the descent into the glorious madness of the back pages, the ad avalanche that defined a generation. Joe Weider flexes beside the headline, "Muscles in 7 days." Honor House sells toy guns and secret money belts. You can order wrestling photos for 50 cents each. Bruno, Pedro, the Sheik, or even the Mummy in full bandages. There's a personal record book to track imaginary leagues and a $2 subscription to the official Wrestling Fan Club of America. Every ad, every coupon, every order blank feels alive. It's the smell of paper cuts and promise. The last few inches of text belong to the subscription drive. Get 12 issues of The Wrestler and never miss a feud again. The return address, Rockville Center, New York, is practically holy ground. And then the last line, printed small but eternal. The crowd may forget the match, but never the feeling. That's The Wrestler, January 1972. 68 pages of pure, glorious mayhem. From Pedro's crimson courage to Bengali's tiger wisdom, from Tarzan Tyler's absurd jungle dance to Little Bruiser's broken heart, this issue proves why wrestling wasn't pretending to be real. It was daring the world to prove it wasn't. It's not nostalgia, it's prophecy printed on pulp. You don't read The Wrestler, you relive it.